you. Any other members of the public want to speak? Okay, with that, we'll move on to agenda item 7A, committee reports and supervisors' reports. Yeah, we're reconvene as the Board of Supervisors.
Thank you very much, Roland.
Supervisor McCowan.
In the interest of time, I would just say that I attended the meetings of the Workforce Investment Board, the Economic Development and Finance Corporation, and the Mendocino County Public Health Advisory Board.
Okay.
And I would also request that the issue of the Navy's Northwest Training Complex and whether we should make comments to the environmental impact statement be placed on the agenda for March 3rd.
And you will do that? You will place it on the agenda?
I'm requesting we have that on our agenda. Unless, I mean, the board can decide right now if there's not sufficient interest to consider whether we want to make comments. So maybe you could do a quick poll.
If you so want to put it on the agenda, you might talk to the clerk. Maybe that might be checked with the scheduling to where we have time on that agenda date.
Well, it's also a time sensitive in that the deadline to make comments would be March 11th.
Okay. Okay, any other supervisory reports? No? Okay.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. I've been attending numerous standing committees, many of them to do with water, as well as attending special district meetings. We heard earlier from Roland the discussion on the Masonite, I think it's number 6 well. But Inland Water and Power Commission is continuing to look at water levels at the lakes. I will say that all the special districts and water entities inland Mendocino County are organizing and coming together. At this meeting, there was a lot of discussion about the feasibility study and the amount of money spent with the Corps in producing the studies that are needed to look at the raising of Coyote Dam. And there's concern that for the amount of money spent, not enough product is coming forward. So they're continuing to work on that with the project manager and have asked for an audit, although I don't know if we're quite there yet. The cost-sharing agreement will be coming to the Board of Supervisors between all the entities that want to take part in the feasibility study, and county councils looked at it. I'm working with Roland, and probably be next month. Also, the committee, Inland Water and Power, appointed a committee, so we will have oversight of the expenditures and work produced by the U.S. Corps, and also to calculate in-kind services by all the entities involved, which will reduce our match funding. The Frost Protection Task Force met. I was in Santa Rosa at the Federal Building with NOAA Fisheries, Fish and Game, and State Water Board, Division of Water Rights head Victoria Whitney, to continue to look at frost protection and irrigation for agriculture during drought times. There will be a tour for both NOAA and Fish and Game on March 13th, Ukiah Valley, to look at our watershed. Then also, I met with county council and a number of the different departments in the county on Williamson Act, and report that the Lands Committee is being reformed in order to address the contracts that we have now. Redwood Valley County Water District is making a payment for surplus water to Sonoma County Water Agency, and as a result, there's a committee that needs to be organized. It's already approved by this board a number of years earlier, but because the payment is the first one made, this will be going forward. So we've met on that, and I'll be coming back at the next meeting to talk further about it.
Supervisor Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As the board's representative to the retirement system, reporting that the retirement board had a lengthy meeting last week. One thing that we did, and we spent quite a bit of time on, is going over the actuarial report, because the retirement board has to set the county contribution rate, the rate for the employer, each fiscal year. And so we had that discussion, went forward with a recommendation. That will come back to this body in some detail in March. We'll be hearing from Mr. Anderson from the retirement system at that meeting. I believe that will be a March date, and it does have impacts to the county budget. And I think we'll hear a little bit more about it today in the budget discussions with Deputy CEO Jennifer Wyatt. So that's an important issue that I think has gotten a lot more attention, and I think that's a positive thing. In addition to that, we're moving forward with our plans to have a joint meeting of the retirement system and the Board of Supervisors, and that is tentatively set for April 28th, I believe. Also, for the public's information, there's now a website for the retirement system, and you can access that through the county website. It's going to be and is a work in process. More and more detail will be added. Eventually, it perhaps could become an interactive site like the PERS website is for the benefit of retirees and for employees. So I think that's a very positive step. We've been needing, I believe, a website for some time, and so Mr. Anderson has gotten that process and project up and running, and so I think it's a valuable one, and it's going to provide a conduit for information. There, the agendas of the retirement system are posted. You'll find information on financial reports, and as I said, that will grow, and additional information will be added to that website as we move forward. Thank you.
Just an announcement. We got 3 quick items here. Hopefully, if the board can move this along before we have a lot of people here for the budget workshop, which is timed out, is supposed to start at 9:45. So with that, we're going to move down to agenda item 10, appointments to boards and commissions.
Mr. Chair, I would move the appointment of Robert Jordan, Brooks Lockhart, and John Ovala to the Workforce Investment Board, and Sheila Gray, Lorelei Mannix, and Jendi Corsi to the Public Health Advisory Board. They've all been presented to these boards and are recommended to us by them, so I move their appointments.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried unanimous. Supervisor Brown?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to move appointment of George Pacheco for the 1st District to the Civil Service Commission.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Carried unanimous.
I'd like to recommend Camille Ranker for appointment, Civil Service Commission, 4th District.
Second.
Motion and a second by Supervisor McCowan. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Carried unanimous. Supervisor Brown?
Yes, to the Animal Care and Control Appeals and Advisory Board, I'd like to move appointment of Dania Hildebrand.
Motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Supervisor Smith. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried unanimous.
On the next item, Mr. Chair, I'd like to clarify that we have a memo that's been provided to us today that clarifies that the appointment to MCOG is that preference is given to a countywide elected official should one apply, and Susan Ranachek has applied. Therefore, based on the requirements as provided by MCOG and ratified by the board, by default, the appointment would be to her. So I do thank the members of the public who also otherwise applied, but based on the guidelines, I would move the appointment of Susan Ranachek.
Second.
Motion and a second. Supervisor Kovacs, did you have a comment to this?
No, I don't.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Just to comment on it, I appreciate the interest